Ooh, starting off with that orange spark. Let's go. The Maid Privity. That is a huge W. Can we get a double? It's a double. It was a double. Oh my god. All right. I hope it's a schoolgirl. Tia. Okay, I think that brings me to the maximum break Tia. Pilgrim. Oh my god. What if it's Snow White? Okay, Rapunzel. I will take it. Yo, chat already has the Rapunzel emojis. It's Tetra. It's Tetra. Volume. Another orange spark. Dude, we cannot miss. This is crazy. Yes! There we go. Only 2 pulls. We didn't even have to dip into the gems. That's how you do it, guys. Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and it is time to talk about summer and what is coming up, what you may have already spent on, what you need to be thinking about, and also a quick look at our girl Sakura's damage, because maybe she's disappointing some players right now, and I want to talk about why and how you can get the most out of her after doing a little bit of testing myself. Okay, so Sakura's damage versus damage when there are parts can differ dramatically. You can see here I did a run with her, well I did several runs with her, but here we can see a clip where I'm fighting just random enemies and her damage is like only about half as much as Bunny Soda. Now Bunny Soda is one of the top DPS in the game, just below some of those really crazy ones like Red Hood, and my Bunny Soda is more invested than Sakura, but still, I mean, we're looking at like 50% of the damage. Just for reference, my Sakura currently has 3 overloads. Unfortunately, I have not been able to hit any attack stats on her yet, and I have all her skills at level 4, level 7, and level 7. Then I did a test with her against a boss with some parts, and the damage spiked a lot. She was doing nearly as much damage as my Modernia, which is heavily invested. My Modernia is up to Core 2, has all 10 level skills, have maximum overloads, maximum level on all of her equipment, lots of attack lines, stuff like that. So you can see there's just a dramatic difference in how much damage you're going to get out of her. So she certainly is a specialist. I was hoping she'd be a little bit better as just like a generic damage dealer, and it looks like she isn't very useful unless you're going to fight against something with parts. That said, she seems to certainly have a role to play because we could see this damage spiking up way past a unit like Modernia once she is fully invested. As far as investment goes, she is a unit that's going to scale well with investment, because if we look at her skills, a lot of these things deal damage with modifiers based off of final max attack, and so the more copies of her that you have, the higher level gear that you have, more overloads with attack lines, things like that, the better she is going to get. So unfortunately, this is a little bit of bad news for low spenders or people that just are unlucky, because she's going to get more and more powerful the more investment you put into her, and she's not like one of those units that really has diminishing returns. So you know, a little bit of bad news from that perspective. That said, we already saw some pretty massive damage against the right enemies, even with, you know, kind of moderate investment that I have. So in that way, maybe she is good for low spenders. Also, if you're going to try and go for, you know, min-maxing lines on her gear, I would definitely recommend attack the most, because it's going to, again, increase the multiplier on that final attack stat. And then elemental damage, of course, is good for your main DPS. And then, you know, beyond that, max ammo is solid for anybody. Although your boy here got tons of max ammo, and it's not the most relevant stat for her. And you can go for like crits and things like that eventually later on. But really, attack and elemental damage is what you really want to be doing with her. I got pretty lucky with pulling her, thankfully. I'm not sure if I want to go for more copies of her, so let's talk about what we do want to go for. How are we going to spend our hard-earned gems, tickets, and maybe real-world cash? So, remember, the important thing here is that you do not have to pull right away, okay? We have all of these banners here, but they are lasting, you know, weeks. We got 20 days left on this banner, and this is going to be a long summer event, so I just want everybody to keep that in mind. I know we all want to pull on the first day, but we don't have to, okay? So, my Sakura is currently at 1 copy, and I might want to go for max limit break, but it depends on what I get in the future, okay? So we are getting Summer Rosanna, which we cannot show here yet because she's not on the banner yet. But my goal for her is to get her to max limit break, okay? She is going to be a possibly somewhat future-proof support unit. She's going to fit in really well with Sakura. By the way, other squads for Sakura, I would really recommend putting on leader, because again, you're going to be increasing that attack stat, and then you could potentially do bunnies or any kind of other things. But I think probably the obvious ones are going to be leader and Rosanna to pair with Sakura. Now, after I get maximum break Rosanna, that could really do a drain on my resources, right? So at that point, then I want to take a look at the old units. Now, keep in mind, we currently have Mary available and Neon available, but in the second half, the patch notes told us that we are going to get a rerun of Helm and Anise as well, okay? So if I can get max limit break Rosanna, then I'm going to come back and try and get at least one copy of Neon because I missed this, okay? So I would say for you guys, target the one new unit that you really want, see what you have left, then go for the older units. Typically, the gotcha logic is to not invest highly in older units because the newer ones are just going to be better. Now, nikke has done a really good job of not having a lot of power creep, so it's not as true here, but just remember, generally investing in the newer units is going to be better, whether that's Sakura or Rosanna. Without having any testing on Rosanna, obviously, I would lean slightly towards investing in Rosanna because she may be a little bit more future-proof, because you can use her with any of those really, really strong DPS units and get that bonus on parts damage against the right boss. That said, Sakura does scale well with investment, and she is your main DPS, so she will also benefit from investment, but I think you probably want to pick one or the other unless you're just a mega whale. For me, I'm prioritizing Rosanna for cultured reasons, and then I'm going to go back and level up Sakura more with more copies if I can have any left over after I get my one copy of Neon that evaded me when she first came out. Okay, so now let's talk about what we want to do with the passes. But again, just another quick reminder, second half we're getting rerun of Anise and Helm, so hold some resources. I know a lot of people are trying to get Summer Anise. That should be a big target for people who don't already have her because she is still a top DPS as of now. Okay, so for the passes, we have the Maiden Pass. Maiden skin looks incredible. The pass, not so much. So I would say if you're a new player, buy this pass. The pass is a great value. You're going to be able to get a lot of pulling resources and potentially copies of units. If you're a veteran player, probably pass on this pass. Unless you're just pulling for Maiden because, you know, Maiden. I totally get it, but don't expect the treasure to suddenly make her a powerhouse either, okay? People will, you know, say like, oh, well, treasure will make them good. Treasures, little tangent here, are not really a viable investment, okay? Because you can equip the dolls to any unit you want, right? And so these give such a huge stat bonus, plus the ability on the doll, that putting them on units like Modernia, Snow White, Red Hood, Black Shadow Scarlet, whatever it is, it's just going to be a lot higher power spike for you than trying to make a new treasured unit like Freema or Diesel or Viper or whoever it is, try and work with the treasure. I think it's a cool way to try and catch up older units, and if you're a big fan, go for it, but really power level wise, it's not really that worth it right now, so just keep that in mind. Okay, the next pass, we have the Guilty Pass or the Watermelon Pass, very appropriately named. This one, I would say, is a get. I think everyone should probably buy this one who, you know, can afford to, of course, because this pass, you're going to get better resources on this. We're getting a lot of high quality molds here. Some resource boxes for leveling materials on the left over here. Rainbow tickets, things like that. Okay, so that is going to be one that I have purchased. Now, because of generous viewer donations, I also got the Maiden Pass, which I do thank you for that. I can enjoy the skin, but resource-wise, I wouldn't invest in that. For the Guilty one, I would invest in it, and I did buy that one as well with my own money. Then we have the Diver Pass with Mask. This is another one that I think is going to be good value. We're getting our rainbow tickets, we're getting our level up resources. This is basically like the Watermelon Pass, our high-quality mold fragments, and that Mask skin looks pretty good. So this is another one that I would say get if you can afford it. It's going to be great value. Okay. What else? Secret summer units coming. I just had a stutter right there. Secret summer units are potentially coming. Will we get a Jackal? Will we get another round? Volume, potentially? Probably not. Your boy can wish. But keep in mind, it's possible we get another round of summer units. Probably not. But just, keep that in the back of your mind. What you really want to be thinking about is the collab coming up in August or September. So we know for a fact a collab is coming. We don't know exactly what it is. Probably Stellar Blade. We think it's going to be Stellar Blade, except they said collab with a popular IP, so maybe that's not a shift up thing. Maybe it'll be Evangelion. I can cross my fingers on that. It'll probably be something else. But keep in mind, collab we know for sure of some type is coming in August, probably going into September. And whether it's Stellar Blade or whatever, you want to be saving for that. So this is a busy time for Nikke players. Just manage your resources. Remember, you can wait. These banners last a long time. We can do some testing. See what you want to go for. Again, as a quick recommendation, rundown review of my plan, I got my 1 copy of Sakura. I'm going to get maximum play of Rosanna. I'm going to try and get 1 copy of Neon. If I still have a lot of resources, maybe I'll come back to get copies of Sakura. I would pass on the Maiden Pass unless you're a new player. I would get the Guilty Pass and then potentially the Masked Pass as well if you can spend on that. Newer players should also be targeting Summer Anise when she comes back. If you missed her the first time. Save for that collab if you have resources. I know there was already a ton of stuff. So good luck with summer. I hope you guys enjoy this event. I know I am. And I will catch you guys in the next video or stream.